Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? I am back this time with Zelda Breath of the Wild, the PC emulation version of the game. And for those of you who don't know, this, in my opinion, is the only and the best way to experience Zelda Breath of the Wild on PC with the emulation going. This game on PC, and if you have a higher end PC and you can run this game at like 4K, 5K, you can even run this up to 10K, right? But it's not only that you're gonna be able to have those amazing high resolutions on PC, but you can max out everything like the grass, the draw distance. Right now, I'm running the game at max, highest resolution. Everything is like set to like extreme settings. Everything is like 16 times. Some of these settings is so powerful that it says not recommended, right? But once you see it, you'll never be able to go back. And I am running the game. You'll see it's like 100 FPS. It goes up to like 120, 130. You can get higher FPS if you lower some of the settings, but I'm running everything right now on extreme and like 16 times everything. And you can see the game, the draw distance, everything looks phenomenal. Now, you guys are not going to be able to see the way that I'm seeing it, because YouTube is going to compress the video big time, even though I'm going to post this in 4K. But also, I am playing this game on OLED, and man, OLED really makes this game shine because the colors are so vibrant that OLED does a really good job at showing it off. And also the blacks, the depth, the contrast on OLED is amazing. I played this game for the first time about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I played it on an ultra wide monitor, and I thought it was amazing on ultra wide monitor. But now experiencing it again on OLED, it's a whole different level. Now, previously, when I played it about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had put in 260 hours in one playthrough trying to get every single shrine possible. And I loved it. And immediately after I finished this game, the very next day, got the emulation working flawlessly for Tears of the Kingdom, and I put about 240 hours into that game. Now, personally, these two games are some of my favorite games of all time, right? I actually built my high-end gaming PC just to play Zelda Breath of the Wild. But anyways, right now, this is the very beginning of the game. You can see here, I have not done anything. I just started this game, right? And, the Zelda games, there is no New Games Plus. So once you beat the game and you do everything and you want to play it again, you're pretty much screwed as far as New Games Plus, right? But I have created my own save file where I've modded a lot of the stuff on my save file. And you're going to see right now. So even though this is the very beginning of the game, you're not supposed to have everything. My character, first of all, you're going to notice I am playing as Link's sister, Linkle. That's her name. I'm playing as her. And I can swap between her or Link. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it as the girl, Linkle. But I can swap back to Link if I wanted to. But I'm going to stay with her. And you're going to notice that I already have the Master Sword right at the beginning of the game. And I already have the Ancient Shield. And if you look at the top left of my screen, or the side of my left of my screen, I already have all four of the champion abilities right off the bat, right? So this is normally, it would take you like, a good almost 100 hours just to unlock these abilities, right? And I already have them right off the beginning of the game, right? Which is, amazing, right? And I've also installed my mod that I'm using that, if I want to, I already have it now, is that I've put the Master Sword right over here. So all I have to do is go and pick it up, but I already have it, right? It's already in my inventory right there, but you can see it's right there, right? So if for whatever reason, if I lose it, I can just warp back right to the Shrine of Resurrection and come right there and pick it back up. It's always going to be there with the mod that I'm using. Okay, and this video is not going to be a gameplay video. This is just to show you guys what you can do on the PC version, right? And now if I go into my inventory, you're going to see that I've also unlocked every single clothing that you can unlock for Link, right? And when you put it on her, it gives a you know, like a different effect right on her, right? And not only have I unlocked all of the armor sets, but I've made everything. You can see 4 stars, the highest. You would normally have to spend almost 100 hours or more just to find all of the fairies and get the necessary upgrade materials to be able to get them to level 4. But I pretty much have everything. Let me show you guys some of these cool outfits. Look at this outfit that when you put it on Linkle, what it looks like. Look at this. This is like some evil, demented sorcerer. I like this armor a lot too. Look at that. Amazing, right? Let me show you guys another one that I think is pretty awesome also, right? Where is it? Right here. Look at this one here. All right, let me put back what I had on because I really like this cape. All right. Now also, I didn't unlock every single gear. I just, for the purpose of the video, I'm just showing you guys right off the bat. I'm using the, you know, the ancient shield. I already have the Hylian shield unlocked. Normally the Hylian shield, you have to go and find it, right? And I have this guardian shield also, right? And all of these shields, I can give them whatever durability I want to when I created the save file, right? So right now I gave all of them like 10,000 durability, so they'll never break during the playthrough. They're never gonna break. You can see right there the Hylian shield. So pretty much, you know, she's already gonna be like goated, right? But for the purpose of the look, I love the ancient shield, how it looks. Right there. And like I said, I've also unlocked, you can see here, the Master Sword, and I made it I made it a plus, right? So it's even, look at the attack up, 150 up, total of 250 attack damage. So this can pretty much destroy anybody quickly. It'll probably destroy bosses in like a couple of hits, right? The bow, I gave myself, you know, right now I have the, you know, the Lionel bow. So this bow right here, it shoots 5 arrows. That's the way I made it. You know, you would have to normally roll and get these perks, right? So I gave myself the best perk you can get for the Savage Lionel bow, which is 5 shots. I don't think I have any arrows. Let me see. Do I have any arrows? No, I don't have any arrows, right? This is a fresh playthrough. I didn't give myself any arrows. I also have right here the Bow of Light. So if you've played the game, you know you can only get this game when you go to the last boss and you get this bow just to fight the last boss. But right now I have it for my entire playthrough, right? And it's pretty much a one shot, right? It's so powerful, it'll kill enemies in one shot. And the arrows go infinite distance, right? They don't fall down, right? They go forever, right? Now, obviously, if you're playing the game for the very first time, you don't want to be using these mods, right? You want to play the game with nothing. You want to experience this game with nothing, you know, just how you would normally experience a game for the first time, right? This game, to me, is so good that, you know, like I'm only showing you this save file just to show you what's possible, you know, on you know, like on PC, right? You know what you can do, right? But yeah, this game here, to me, it's like Elden Ring, okay? The first time you play Elden Ring, the experience that you get in searching and hunting for your favorite weapon and upgrading them and you know, building your character strong enough to fight a boss, and when you finally beat that boss, that rewarding enjoyment that you get, you know, that's what you want to have with this game too. So that's why, you know, your very first time playing the game, you don't want to ruin that experience for yourself, you know, by making your character, like right now she's, you know, right now my character is, you know, overpowered, right? Like one shot, you know, I can kill most of these enemies, right? Easily, right? So I wouldn't recommend, you know, playing your first time like this, right? Now, if you've beaten the game already and you've done everything and you're like, man, I really wanted to have like New Games Plus, right? and have everything that I had before. Well, this is what that's more meant for, right? And you could even replay the game in master mode, right, which is the hardest difficulty with the DLC. You can replay the entire game in master mode, and you can use some of these weapons. You don't have to use all of them, right? And experience the game that way. You can see here, I haven't even talked to the king right here. He's still here, right? I haven't done anything, right? He hasn't done anything, right? So like my very first thing is I got to go to the very first tower. So you can see like this is genuinely the beginning of the game, right? So like for example, let me show you how strong she is. So like I haven't even killed a single enemy yet. So this is the first enemy you would encounter. I got a parry right there. And you can see one hit and he's dead. Okay? And because I have the champion ability of, I think it's Rivala, right? I can travel really far. You're not supposed to be able to do this. And yeah, another thing that I also gave myself is the paraglider, right? Normally you have to do, you have to unlock 3 of the shrines, or yeah, 3 shrines you have to do, I believe, in order to unlock the paraglider, right? So that would, you probably have to be about a good hour, 2 hours in the game when you're first playing it, 3 hours maybe, before you unlock this paraglider. So I've already, given it to myself, and it makes the game way more fun. If there's only one mod that you should do that'll make the game fun, is probably turn on the paraglider, okay? It doesn't break the game experience, right? It just makes it a lot more fun, right? I don't even have the bombs yet. I didn't give myself the bombs because, I'm gonna go and get the first one right now, actually. If I wanted to, I could have given myself like 1,000 arrows, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to make this video quickly and just show you guys, right? And you can see, I'm getting 90 FPS, 100 FPS, and keep in mind, everything is on extreme, 16 times, native 4K, right? And this is an emulation, right? About 2 years ago when I first wanted, this is actually the first Zelda game that I've ever played. And when I made up my mind that I wanted to play this game, because I'm a huge fan of action, exploration, RPG games where you have to craft, level up. Those are usually my favorite types of games, When I made the decision that I wanted to play this game, the thing is that the only way for me to play this game was to go buy a Nintendo Switch. And here in Canada, when I was looking at it, the Nintendo Switch was like $600, plus tax, right? I'm like, am I going to go and spend $600 plus tax just to play, one game? No. Okay, so
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
I did my research and, I learned, about running the emulation, which is what I'm doing right now, right? I'm, running the emulation, getting it to work. And I played around and I got it to work, and look at this. The good thing about the bow of lightning is, the bow of light is that it is infinite arrows. All right, let me get some arrows now, and now I can use the Lionel bow. Now this bow here, the Savage Lionel bow, right? It'll shoot, 3 arrows. I mean, it shoots like 3 arrows at a time. So it'll pretty much one-shot, enemies, because this bow and the perk to have 5 shots is not something that you would get, even in a playthrough, because the bow you have to play a while to get the bow, but to get the perk that has 5 shots on a single enemy, that's random if you get that or not. So I gave myself that perk on purpose on this bow, so it'll pretty much destroy. Let me show you guys. It'll destroy enemies even in 1 shot. I want to get some distance on him. Nice parry. Anyway, yeah, it's let me see. So it does 5 shots. The way this bow works, it does 5 shots. I'll shoot it in the sky. See there, 5 shots, but it only uses up 1 arrow for the 5 shots, which is amazing. That's why the bow is goated, and it's very powerful, right? Every arrow does 32 damage, so 5 times 32, that's a lot of damage, right? And I've also, you know, if you look at the bow, I've also given it a little bit of boost, right? I gave it a little bit extra strength, right? But the bow of lightning, I keep saying lightning, the bow of light is very, very strong. It's like the strongest bow in the game, and you're only supposed to have this bow to fight the last boss, right? But you know, I know there's other ways that you can get some of these items. Like you got to do like these what is it, like these save file glitches, but those take forever, right, to do. And but yeah, anyways, my only other options a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, was to go buy a Nintendo Switch, and I was not gonna go buy a Nintendo Switch just to play this game. And my buddy told me that this game on Nintendo Switch is only running at 900p at like 30 FPS, and a lot of times the game drops from 30 FPS to like 20 FPS, you know, which is garbage. All right, look at this. Oh, I missed. Yeah, 30 FPS, and it goes down to like 25, 20 FPS at times, which to me is garbage, right? You're not going to see any of the detail that you're seeing right now on, you know, on the console, right? So once I learned, like right now the game is way too easy because, you know, my character is overpowered. So that's why I would not recommend playing the game like this your very first time. You only do this if you want to, you know, fool around and, you know, just play around with the game. Obviously, there's no need to really explore because everything I have is now level 4 maxed out. I have every single outfit, clothing you can get in the game, so there's no point in going out of your way to get clothing, which, you know, would ruin the experience for your first time, right? You gotta, you know, part of the fun of this game is like Elden Ring, you know, where you go on, you know, you go on those forums and you're like, okay, where do I get, you know, this armor set? Where do I get, you know, where do I get this ingredient to level up this armor? All of that is part of the enjoyment in these types of games, and even like Souls games. So yeah, don't ruin it for yourself the first time, and do something like this, right? Play the game with nothing from scratch, okay? But yeah, so when I was researching, you know, the emulation aspects of the game, you know, I felt confident I could do it, and then I was gonna decide. I told myself, okay, I'm gonna go build myself a cheap PC just to play Breath of the Wild, because back then I was a huge, you know, Sony fanboy, right? I'm a Sony guy. I'm a trophy hunter. So I was big into the Sony games, but I wanted to take a break from the Sony games and play this game. But I'm also a huge fan of you know, PCs and technology, and you know, I love just power in performance in like, you know, in technology, right? And I'd never built a PC in my life, but I did my research, and I felt very confident because I'm a pretty smart guy when it comes to these things, and I was very confident that I could build my entire PC myself from scratch. So one day, this was during the Black Friday times, I decided to go and buy all of the parts that I needed to build a PC, from you know mostly from Amazon. And at the time I was like, holy crap, you know, back at the end of 2024, you know, PC parts were nowhere near as expensive as they are right now. So I was like, man, you know, you know, I'm doing all the labor, so it's not like I have to pay somebody to build myself the PC. Okay, so I built it myself. I bought high-end components, which were cheaper back then. I got myself a sick monster of a video card, and then I built the computer, and then I dived into modding this game. You know, not modding it, getting the emulation to work. In the beginning, it didn't work properly because I didn't know a lot of stuff. But once I got it working flawlessly, and I seen the game like the way that I'm seeing it now, you know, 4K, max settings, everything on extreme settings, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like one of the best looking games that I'd ever seen, right? And I've played every game, right? Like, I've played high-end games, and I still, when I look at this game, I'm like, holy shit, I am blown away by this game. And this game is like my top 3 favorite games of all time. So for me, if you're wondering, my favorite game of all time is Elden Ring, okay? Elden Ring, The Last of Us 2, and this game. Now I could probably rotate this game with The Last of Us 2, but it depends. I'm gonna do another playthrough of The Last of Us 2 soon, because I actually repurchased that game again on PC, and I want to replay the new version that came out for the PC. I want to experience it again. I've already beaten it 5 times on PS5. I've platinumed it, but I'm gonna replay it again on PC. I know a lot of people like The Last of Us 1, which I do also, but for me, The Last of Us 2 is absolutely better than The Last of Us 1. The Last of Us 2, like I said, for me, it's Elden Ring, The Last of Us 2, and probably this game. And then after this game, I would probably have God of War 2018 and Tears of the Kingdom, okay? As my number 4 of all-time favorite games, okay? And yes, I know there's some people going to say, Red Dead 2 and all those stuff. Yes, I've played Red Dead. It's a phenomenal game, but it's not in my top 5. And I know some of you guys are huge Grand Theft Auto guys. You're gonna be like, no, Grand Theft Auto should be up there. I played GTA 5. I liked it, but it's, like I said, my favorite types of games are action adventure RPG games. When you're crafting, you're leveling up, you're exploring, and so that's why games like Elden Ring for me will always be of a higher caliber, okay? But GTA 5 was amazing, right? If I had like top 10 games, yeah, GTA 5 would be in there. But yeah, after I played this game and I put 260 hours, I immediately wanted to play New Games Plus, but there's no New Games Plus for these Nintendo games, right? So I was like, man. And then I was like, you know what? Let me learn how to do Tears of the Kingdom, because Tears of the Kingdom, that is a more complex game to emulate, and you have to be using a completely different emulator for Tears of the Kingdom to get that to work flawlessly, right? And once I learned that and I played Tears of the Kingdom, another masterpiece. But I still personally preferred this game over Tears of the Kingdom. Now you're seeing, with the Rivaldi's championship ability, I think it's the right name that I'm saying. I'm able to get to places that you not normally would be able to get to yet, right? Now I'm not doing anything. I'm just running around just to show you guys the game. How it, even like this chest up here, right? I remember when I first was doing this, you can't do this chest. You can't get this chest until you unlock the magnet ability, right? Where you can pull, like, in the water. There's like a metal. I think if I remember, there's like a metal door in the water, or in this pit here. And once you have the magnet, I forget the word, if it's magnet or magnet something, you would take it up from the pit, and then you can move it and put it here, and you would create a platform, right? But now, since I have this, I can just cheese it. I can just go here now. And right there, now I can get, right? I can collect these, now I got the ice arrows, right? So now I can do that, right? I can reach areas that you would not normally be able to reach, right? Okay, fire arrows and ice arrows, right? Look at this. Now, look at this. Exploration and traveling is so much easier. This is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I have also emulated many Nintendo Switch games, right? I've tried some of the Mario Brothers. Those are great games, but to me, they're nowhere near the caliber of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, like I know a lot of people like Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and those type of things. Those are not my cup of tea. Like, I don't like those games. I find they're just too easy. This game here, I just love the exploration. Let's go do this first tomb. This is actually, you're supposed to come here. This is, I believe, where you're gonna get the magnify ability, the magnet ability for the very first time. This is actually your first quest that you're supposed to be able to do here. You're gonna take out the Sheikah Slate. But I remember when I first experienced this game for the first time a couple of years ago, I was blown away. I was like, oh my god, this game is way better than most of the AAA games that I was playing, man. This is like, it was way better than so many games that I'd loved. And I was like, I can't believe that I waited so long. Actually, you know what? I was glad that I waited so long, because had I played this game on Nintendo Switch, I think the experience would not have been the same. Playing this game at like 900p, 30 FPS, that would have been garbage, to be honest with you guys. Also, because I have, you know, level 3 stamina, I'm able to climb places that you're not supposed to be able to climb, you know, for a very long time, right? All right. And you can see, even though I'm playing as the female, like Link's sister, the animations are very well done. You know, these modders are doing an amazing job, man. Like, the modding community for games like Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild is like, it's insane what people are doing, man. And you know, and they actually, in my opinion, they make the game so much better. Like look at the female character I'm playing with. Like, this looks like this is how the game was from the beginning, right? Like, this is incredible how they made this game. So if you never played this game, up here, where I am right now, this is like a tower which allows me to see much further and pin areas of exploration that I want to do from this up here, because I can see much farther.
For the past 100 years.
Let me skip all of this.
The beast. When the beast regains
Ganon.
its true power, this world will face its end.
I'm pretty sure if I search hard enough, there's probably going to be a mod where I can play as him, Ganon, the last boss, right? I'm pretty sure there is, if I you know, look hard enough. But like I said, I am going to replay the game. Probably I'm going to start after this video is done, but I'm not going to play the game with these mods. I want to experience it again from scratch, because I think, I don't know, it's same thing with Elden Ring, right? When you play the game and you have nothing and you got to go out of your way searching and exploring and you know, and grinding. I just love that aspect of these types of games, right? So let me remember how to do this for the first time. All right, that's what it wants me to do. It wants me to pinpoint. It wants me to place pins. There's one. So because I'm on this, you know, because I've unlocked this tower, it allows me to see these shrines now from a distance, right? So you can see how far I could see now. And there's even one all the way over there. Look at that. There's even a mod that allows me to put more markers than you're supposed to be able to, because there's a limited amount to how many markers you can put, right? Let me see.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
Right there's another one. There's another one. Alright, let's go to the closest one. Where is it? It's right over here somewhere. Now, normally, you know, I would have to like, normally I would have to like jump down or climb down, right? But since I have the paraglider, you know, this makes everything so much easier. Actually, it's not letting me move because if I remember correctly, when you come down for the very first time, it wants you to talk to your right here. It wants you to talk to him, and he tells you about going to these shrines. Let me skip all of this. So what he's telling me to do, I just did, which is place those markers. Only thing I wish Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom had is I wish that the NPCs would actually talk versus me having to read it, you know? But I'm not gonna nitpick. So he's pointing to me the very first shrine, if I'm correctly. No, he's telling me. Okay, yeah, he's telling me that's the goal, to take down Ganon. All right, let me skip all of this.
Oh.
So this is where you first. He's gonna tell you that he could give you the paraglider if you do these 3 missions for him. But I've already done the paraglider. I mean, I already have it. I gave it to myself, right? So he's gonna tell you. You know, you can ask him what it is, and he tells you what it allows you to reach different areas. So anyway, so I already have it. All right, isolated. All right, so let me go to the closest one. Which one is the closest one? Okay, right here. And normally, you know, these shrines, they give you new abilities that you would not normally have until you do them, which allow you to do way more things in the game. See how useful having the paraglider right off the bat makes things? Let me skip all of these. So I believe now, let me see, is it now where I'm going to get the, I forget the name of the ability to use the magnet, what it's called, what they called it in Breath of the Wild, but let me skip all of this. Yeah, so right here, you get the magnet for the first time. Magnesis, that's the word. Okay? So this is going to be the very first, like, ability that you get. I think after this one, you get the ability to throw the bombs. And all of these abilities that you get, you use them to solve puzzles and also to traverse the world of Breath of the Wild. And also you can use them to attack enemies. If you're creative, you can use them in combat. So in this game, that's what I like about this game so much, is that you are not limited to one way of doing things. You have endless ways as long as you're creative, right? And I really connected with that when I first played this game. So I have to remember how to use this. It's been a while. Okay, I can... Okay. If I remember, can I... I know I can... Okay, push it. Hold on, I know you can... Or maybe I'm thinking of Breath of the Wild, where you can, like, you know, you can do different things. You can flip it around, you can put it on angles. Now, if I wanted to, I could even take this thing here, and I can use it against an enemy. Like, I could throw it towards an enemy too. And you're going to be able to... That's what it is. You can actually level up these abilities also. So, like, when you come here now... I'm trying to remember this. Let's see. I'm pressing the wrong button. See, I'm so strong that I'm killing these guys in one hit. What is this? Ancient screw. So this is like a very basic, you know, the first shrine is just to teach you some, you know, how to use your basic ability, right? And there you go. I forget, like, there's like you could spend 100 hours just doing shrines, like finding all of them, because they are hidden. And later on in the game, you will get an ability where your Sheikah Slate, you can upgrade it much further on, much later in the game, to where the Sheikah Slate will make a sound when you're near shrine, so you know that you're in the vicinity of a shrine, right? Right now, you kind of got to like wing it and hopefully, you know, see them, or use towers like how I just used and be able to see them from afar. Now on the top right, you just see now I earned, I forget what the word is for that, but I basically, oh, spirit orbs. I just earned a spirit orb, and these spirit orbs is what you use to give yourself more permanent health. But if you look at the top left, my health is maxed out. But normally when you play this game, you start off with only 3 hearts. And I think your first heart needs like 1. I think I forget what it is. How many hearts you have, how many spirit orbs you have to accumulate before you can get, you know, a full heart upgrade. So he's gonna, you know, he's gonna tell me that, oh, you got to do. He wants me to do another, you know, mission, and then he's gonna. So basically, you if I remember correctly, you got to do 3 of these, or 3 missions for him. Then he will give you the paraglider. But being so overpowered like my character is, it does take away from the fun of the game, right? So that's why your first time, you don't want to play the game like this, right? This is just a showcase to you guys what is possible, you know, if you wanted to create your own New Games Plus, or you wanted to make yourself a little bit more beefy to play something like the Master Mode, right? Like I've read a lot of people just, they don't like the Master Mode because it's you know, your enemies are way too strong compared to how, you know, and you're very, very weak, too weak. But I mean, if you play Souls games, you probably like that aspect too. But it's great knowing that you can tweak your own save file the way that you want. But one thing that you can do, you know, is give yourself the, you know, the clothing. All right, let me skip all of this. So he's gonna tell me to go on another mission.
Oh.
So now he just gave me the the fast transportation. Sorry, the what is it? Fast travel ability now. So I can fast travel between one shrine to another shrine, or from a shrine to a tower that I've unlocked. That's what he just told me. So like if I go into the map, yeah, see right now I have the ability to fast travel. And this is where you start off the game. So, you know, essentially I got to do 2 or 3 more shrines, and then he will give me the paraglider. I'm not going to do them. I'm just going to, this is just a video to show you guys, you know, what is possible. PC, emulation, you know, and like I said, I was a big Sony guy. I have not turned on my PlayStation 5 since 2024, okay? When I built my PC and I started, you know, playing emulated games like this, playing, you know, PC games, you know, a lot of you guys know I play cracked games, and then recently the newest trend are these, you know, being able to break the nouveau encryption with the hypervisor technique. I learned how to do that, so that pretty much means that now there's no game that I can't play, you know, cracked. I haven't turned on my PS5, like, you know, like the graphics that you're gonna experience, you know, providing you have a pretty good computer, right? The graphics that you're gonna experience, PS5 Pro and PS5 and Xbox Series X, they are not even close, right? Like I know people show, oh, PS5 Pro versus PC, and they'll show you a picture. A picture does not give you the experience, okay? A picture is a still image. But what you're getting with the PC is the performance, right? Like my buddy was telling me he's playing God of War Ragnarok or God of War 2018 on the PS5 Pro, 4K, 70 or 80 or maybe even 90 FPS if he puts it in performance mode, right? I'm like, bro, I can play it at 4K max settings and I'm getting like 144 FPS easily. If I lower my settings, I'm hitting like over 200 FPS. You know what I mean? So once you start to experience like performance like that, you can't go back to console. Now, I'm not saying console's bad, right? Because like I said, I was a huge Sony guy, right? My PlayStation 5 has over 6,000 hours. Okay, I'm a trophy hunter, so I spent a lot of hours, trophy hunting. I got like 110 platinum trophies on my PlayStation account. But once I've experienced, and you can also trophy hunt on PC. That's what I do now. I trophy hunt on PC. But once you've experienced games on PC, it's damn near impossible to go back to console, right? Especially, I started learning how to mod PC games, right? Like the mods that you can do on games, like it's phenomenal, right? Like I have a save file with I purchased Forbidden West is one of my favorite games too. Forbidden West and Zero Dawn. I have Aloy modded out. Like she's wearing armor and gear that are very sexy that you cannot get in the game, okay? And it looks incredible. Same thing with the Tomb Raider games, right? Like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I have modded the game like crazy. Elden Ring also, okay? I have not played Elden Ring on PC on my OLED yet. That's another game that I'm going to replay. And the mods that are available on Elden Ring in the PC are insane. There's things that you can do there that it would blow your mind away. So I will be playing Elden Ring also, and I'm gonna mod the hell out of Elden Ring again, and I'm gonna show you guys what you can do. Ghost of Tsushima, like I don't know if some of you might know, I'm a huge Ghost of Tsushima fan. Right? I got almost 4,000 hours in Ghost of Tsushima. Most of those 4,000 hours are from Ghost of Tsushima Legend. I used to play Ghost of Tsushima Legend with my friends endlessly, right? I'm a pretty decent player, okay? Now I know a lot of players who are like phenomenal at the game. I'm a pretty good, decent player at the game, like playing online. But I have the game also on PC. I purchased it, and I have my Jin tricked out, right? I got shit with Jin that you'll never see unless you're modding it on the PC, right? But yeah, once you've experienced that type of stuff, man, you can't go back. And that's what this video is mainly to show you guys, like how amazing, the gaming experience is, at least for me, on PC. And that's why a lot of friends ask me, like, are you going to go back to PlayStation 5? Like, why? Why would I go back to playing the game on a much lower quality resolution with 60 FPS? I have a base PS5, so best I'm going to do is 60 FPS. You know what I mean? Why would I want to do that, right? But yeah, anyways, guys, I just want to show you guys. Look at this. Look how gorgeous this is. Look at the draw distance in the background. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, Zelda Breath of the Wild, PC, emulation, 4K, everything on extreme, and or 16 times maxed out with the Zelda sister mod and a lot of the end game weapons at the beginning of the game.